welcome to The Positive Side again. This is DeSantis, your host. And I have a really great guest again today. I have Kevin Banet. He is the president and founder of Savvy Senior Marketing. Kevin and I also have something in common. I'm the director for a foundation. It's called the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation. I'm the director, and it's associated with a religious order, and it's the Mercedarian religious order. So Kevin and I are going to spend the first half of this program talking about that. So Kevin, welcome.
How do you do, Ann? Glad to be
good,
here.
Thank you. How's Chicago? He's coming to us from Chicago.
It's very cold here, very cold, and it makes it hard walking the dog around here. That's the problem, because he never knows what kind of snow he's going to get the next day.
Yes. So here we are. We're taping this show on February 15th. So it's kind of in the middle of winter, and Kevin's just been through a deep freeze, I think, out there in Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They say you could have taken a cup of boiling water and tossed it in the air, and it vaporizes before it hits the ground.
Wow. Well, God bless you and your family for going through. I know it's a rough time right now. So, Kevin, I know you're a husband and a dad of two. And just reading about your background, I know that you have a background in reporting, and I know that you were a newspaper reporter. So just,
That's
we're
right.
going to get into that connection that you and I have with the Mercedarian religious order, but I thought maybe you could just tell us a little bit about your life, your family, and just anything that you'd want to share with our audience.
Sure. Well, you and I are both providing services for the Order of Mercy, otherwise known as the Mercedarian Friars. I've been helping them with their vocation work. In other words, this means recruiting young men for religious life, for becoming a friar. Some of them become priests, and it's very enjoyable work. I've been doing that for other religious orders as well. So the family, I got married a little late in life, age 44, and so, learned a lot, and we have two children. We live in the Chicago area, and, we're doing very fine. We've been blessed with a lot of gifts and a great life together here.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Kevin. And now, going back to the Mercedarian Friars, how did you get involved with them in the first place?
Well, I used to work for the Institute on Religious Life in Chicago. They have a number of members of religious communities that are more traditional. They wear the habit, they pray together, they live in common, and the Order of Mercy is, they're a good order. They're attracting new recruits, and so I have a lot of hope for them.
Yes, I understand, because I do too. And just to tell you how we have that connection is, not only am I this TV host for the show, but I'm the director for a foundation. It's called the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation. And you can look us up online at www.nonatus.org. And we do outreach to families in crisis. It is a Catholic foundation through the Mercedarian Friars. And the connection that Kevin has with them is Kevin actually helps to do some recruitment work, we'll call it, to the vocations for priests and brothers in the Mercedarian community, the Mercedarian religious order. And I know that their website, which you can check too, is orderofmercy.org. I know that website was just also nicely updated. So Kevin, I know that you have spent some time with the Mercedarian Friars. How did they impress you, just the time that you spent in getting to know them?
Yeah, I flew out to Philadelphia, where they have their U.S. headquarters, so to speak. And I spent a few days with them giving lectures on the use of social media for their work, especially recruiting vocations. They were a very good group. There are about 24 friars, and got a chance to interact with them, share the faith with them. They have a lot of zeal. They also have a wide range of ages, young men, I suppose in their 20s and 30s, all the way up to retirement age. And overall, very impressed with their fraternity and their zeal for the faith. And one of the things about religious life, I know I'm married and so forth, and most people are. That's the most common calling. But people often wonder, am I going to be lonely? If I don't get married, I'm going to be lonely. That's the thought. And in fact, there with a healthy community, there's a lot of fraternity, a lot of friendship, and that's really what it's all about. And that goes quite a distance. And I think that's why the friars and religious orders have survived for more than 1,000 years, 2,000 years, because of that fraternal life and that true friendship that they have.
Yes. I know that you do good work because I get these wonderful newsletters from you about the work that you're doing for vocations and also for your other business, which we'll talk about in our second half. So just talking more about the Mercedarian Friars, you said you visited Philadelphia. So what was that experience like for you too? Did you get to visit Our Lady of Lourdes Parish?
No, I did not. I stayed in a retreat center the whole time. I did a little bit of touring afterwards. I went downtown and saw the Liberty Bell when it used to be kept outside, and I didn't find the Rocky Steps. I know they're in Philadelphia somewhere, but the next time I go there, I'm going to run up there and do the whole Rocky thing.
Yes, you will have to visit the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation as well. So you do a lot of work with social media, and I know with newsletters. So how do you make this outreach to find the young men that are possibly interested in vocations with the Mercedarian religious order?
Yeah, well, we take ads on Facebook, and we put a picture of the men out there, and there's just a question there. Take our quiz, test your call, find out if you're called to religious life. And so there are people from all over the country who click and they take a quiz, and then it says, find out your score, get our newsletter. And so they click on that, and then we get their names. Some of them have only a marginal amount of interest. Some are just, testing the waters, poking around, and others have more of they're farther along in the decision cycle where they're thinking, yeah, maybe I want to become a friar, a priest or a brother. And so you find a whole range of people, and it's a good outreach. As Christians, we want to get religious material out there on the internet to give witness to the world, and not only that, to reach people who are on social media, and they're often hard to reach. They're all over the country. So this is what we're doing. We're using social media, modern means of communication, and reaching out to people. So we just yesterday found out this one fellow signed up for their March retreat, and he took our quiz online, last year sometime, within last year. So that was very rewarding to find that out.
Yes. I really appreciate the work you're doing. You're very creative in that. I've read your newsletters, and I would suggest if someone is out there watching right now and as I said, we'll talk about this more in the second half, but to check your website, which is savvyseniormarketing.com. We're going to talk more about that next. But to learn more about the Mercedarian religious order, please check out that website, especially if we have any person out there, a young man who might be watching, who possibly is interested in a vocation with the church as a friar, a brother, or a priest, to go to orderofmercy.org. So anyway, Kevin, let's talk about social media and the church. What kinds of advice would you give to leaders in the church who want to use social media in a better way as a tool to make outreach?
Well, there's just an incredible number of religious websites out there, and the Catholic websites have really multiplied. You want to get the word out, but also you want to get the contact information from these people, whether you're recruiting for a religious order or reaching out to people in your area. A lot that the church could do, but it really hasn't spent much time in advertising. You go to your pastor or the chancery office of the bishop, and they don't look real kindly on paid advertising. But I'm just wondering if that's the way that we need to go in the future. I mean, if St. Paul were here today, would he do that? And so you have to be sophisticated and up to date with marketing methods. What you want to do is capture these people's contact information. We offer like free white papers and freebies, and you get this if you just sign your email address. So
now, Kevin, we have to take a break, so we'll be back in a few minutes here on The Positive Side. Welcome back to The Positive Side. Ann DeSantis, your host, with Mr. Kevin Banet, coming from Chicago. As I mentioned in the first half, Kevin and I have something in common. We are both associated with a Catholic religious order. It's called the Mercedarian Religious Order. And as I mentioned before, you can find them online at orderofmercy.org. So Kevin, welcome back again. Thank you for being here from chilly Chicago.
Ann?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's cold, about as cold as it could be. So
that's right. Now there's another picture here. Since you're not seeing the photos, I want to make sure that I tell you it's a picture of Brother Peter and his family at Our Lady of Lourdes Parish. I guess this is when he had professed. So, Brother Peter.
Yeah.
Yes. So
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Brother Peter is the latest friar of theirs to be professed. And for those who don't know about the process, profession is really the big step. You start out as a postulant, which means that you're inquiring, and then you're a novice when you're living there you're living with the community for a year or two, and then you make several professions. And so this is Peter's first profession, and then later on your permanent profession. So this is a good sign. Everybody's joyous, and we're happy that Peter took this step.
Yes, and I know we have a few more pictures. Now there is a photo. It looks like it was possibly a group of friars. It may be Spain or some other gathering. So there's a big red background, and they're in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Maybe it's a group of cardinals. I see red hats, so I don't know. Is that sounding familiar, that photo?
The Mercedarian order just finished their 800th anniversary celebration. And, when we think of countries or companies, we're thinking of, if you've been here 50 years, that's a lot. But the Mercedarians have been here for 800 years. So this is a big celebration in Lima, Peru. As I said, they're much more prominent in Latin America than in the U.S. But it was a very joyous time for them. And, they have some beautiful churches down there.
Yes, and I want to mention also that I was also very happy to be a part of that, because in the Philadelphia area, Father Michael Rock, the pastor at Our Lady of Lourdes, had opened a celebration at his parish, and also a beautiful dinner that my family and I were able to attend, because not only am I the director for the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation, but also a Third Order member. So that is a member of the lay fraternity of the Order of Mercy. So I know that, Kevin, you're familiar with that as well, being a Third Order prayerful member of the Catholic religious order, which is, as we said, the Mercedarians. So another photo. Do we have any more photos to look at? I know that, okay, here now we have another one. It looks like it was the pro-life march, and it was a group of the Friars together with a banner. So did you have any words about this one, Kevin?
Well, it was another cold march in Washington, and there was at least one friar there. It's a great place to go and meet friends and stand up for life, witness for life. So it's something that the Mercedarians fully participate in.
Kevin, thank you. It's really been a pleasure to have you. I have to have you back again. So on behalf of RVN-TV, The Positive Side, Kevin Banet, Ann DeSantis, we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you very much.